Hello everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well, and today I'm going to be doing a Blu-ray slash DVD collection update. It has been a very long time since I have done one. There have been tons of things that I have been sent that I have not been able to actually watch or review, but I did want to still shout them out. So this is going to be mostly a shout out to MVD Visual and Arrow Video for sending these out. Again, I really do appreciate it. And again, I know that this video is very long overdue. I've got tons of movies that I've had, some of them for about a month or two, some of them for just a couple of weeks. But I wanted to make sure I was able to get through all of them. And so, without any further ado, here is the update. So, the first one that I have here in my collection, and literally have a giant stack of movies. You can see the top of it actually right here. The first one that I have is a movie called Spell. This is sent to me from Paramount. And it says, while flying to his father's funeral in rural Appalachia, an intense storm causes Marquise, played by Omari Hardwick, to lose control of the plane carrying him and his family. He awakens wounded, alone, and trapped in Miss Eloise's attic, who claims she can nurse him back to health with the Boogity, a hoodoo figure she has made from his blood and skin. So if you are a big fan of horror movies, this is out right now from Paramount. So again, all the movies that I'm about to talk about, they are all currently in release. As I said, it's been a while since I've been sent these. But anyway, Spell from Paramount. Now going into the MVD Visual and Arrow Video collection. So again, major shout out and thank you to MVD Visual for sending these my way. They do their own collections. They take a lot of movies and TV shows that have kind of been lost in the public view, and they've restored them with really great high quality HD transfers on Blu-ray for the first time ever. So they do a lot of that really cool stuff. They also have this collaboration with Arrow Video, which is kind of like Criterion, but for typically more obscure films, typically also more horror-oriented movies as well. And they also usually do a very good job, again, having that very high quality video and always putting it into an incredible package. So the first one is going to be an Arrow Video release of Cinema Paradiso. This is a movie that has always been on the recommended list. It's always been a movie that's been like at the top of the list of people that say this is one of the greatest films ever made. Again, I have not seen it yet for myself, but what I can say is that, because when it comes to these films, in general, what I do is I look to the video quality, I look to the audio quality, just so that I can actually be able to see exactly, what is being presented here, at least with these first few. The other ones, I unfortunately was not able to get to that, but I can indeed vouch for Arrow Video and MVD Visual because of all the stuff they have done in the past. And so this is a new 4K restoration of the theatrical. It's a 4K cut of the original camera negative, and so if you've ever been interested in Cinema Paradiso, this is an homage to cinema. Tells the story of Salvatore, who is a successful film director, returning to the home for a funeral of Alfredo, his old friend, who was the projectionist at a local cinema. So I love movies, and this seems like a movie lovers type movie. So Cinema Paradiso is now available for the first time in not only 4K, but also this is the Blu-ray version of the movie. Also available for the first time in this really, really awesome package. This is the 4K edition of the movie. We have a classic, Tremors. So this was a set that came out a little while ago, and man, oh man, this stuff is amazing. This package is amazing. So if you can get the full special edition package, I highly recommend it. Not only does it come with the 4K Blu-ray, it also comes with tons of special features, which includes the actual movie, tons of extras, tons of special interviews, stuff that you're seeing for the very first time. You also get a second Blu-ray disc that also has the movie and also other limited edition exclusive stuff on there as well. So again, this is now available on 4K. Tremors always is a movie that, to me, kind of like is always in that interesting place because I think everyone has seen Tremors, but typically it's not on people's like top list, but it's a movie that I think most people could still turn on and just watch. It stars the illustrious Kevin Bacon, very young Kevin Bacon, and it's just a fun movie. And the fact that they use really awesome practical effects is also something that's really cool as well. So again, they go into a lot of that with this as well. And of course, it is a love letter to the 1950s creature feature. But once again, because Arrow Video is just awesome, comes with this really cool case. So again, I'm all about collectors you know, being a collector and having these extra things. And so having just the cardboard case get made out of a very sturdy material is very good. You also get a poster. So you get a poster for the film as well for this release, which is always nice to have. You, of course, get the actual 4K disc itself. Again, taken care of very well. You get a couple cool things inside there as well, including some postcards. You also get this little thing right here, which is Walter Chang's Market. So you get a little bit of this. You get a 50% off coupon there. So again, great nostalgia stuff. You also get some what's the word for it? I just used it. You also get some postcards as well. So if you wanted to ever send postcards, you get some postcards with some clips from the movie itself. You have on the back there, really nice image there of and from the film itself. So again, you get just tons of stuff in these releases, but in this special edition release, you get the poster as well as this booklet. So that's the one thing that Arrow Video is really known for in these special editions, is that you get these booklets that just have tons of pictures, tons of bits of information about the film itself, about the history of the film. They also, again, my favorite part is they go into the actual restoration of the film. So this was a 4K scan of an original 35mm negative, and they always are able to get these with either the director's approval, like overseeing the project, or someone that's very closely associated with the film, so that way they're able to get the film as it was originally intended to be seen. So again, this Tremors set is definitely really cool to see. So if you're a big fan of Tremors, again, this 4K set is now available. Definitely look and see if you can find the 4K special edition, so that way you can get that booklet and also that poster as well. Very, very cool stuff. All right, some other stuff from the older set that was sent to me. This is now some MVD Visual stuff. So again, MVD Visual, as I said, what they do is they take older films and TV shows and serials and upgrade them into, you know, HD quality for the first time, put them on Blu-ray. So I always think it's really cool what they do. So this is from their VCI Cliffhanger collection. It's Wild West Days, starring John Mack Brown. 13 roaring chapters of the pioneer days, restored from the studio Film Masters in 4K. So typically what they do is they master it in 4K and then put it into basically a 2K image to put it onto the Blu-ray. But again, first time that this has been seen on HD. So if you're a big fan of the old school Western serial type stories, again, MVD Visual has your back there. So that's one of the things they sent me. You also have the Treasure of Dracula and the sexy version. Or rather, the Treasure of Dracula, and this is the sexy vampire version. It's apparently it stars Santo the Silver Masked Wrestler. First time on DVD, English and color. Also first time on Blu-ray, so restored in 4K, put onto Blu-ray. So again, another one of these like more like fun old school type films. After inventing a time machine, a Mexican wrestler El Santo uses it to go back in town to track down the location of Dracula's hidden treasure. So again, just some fun movie stuff that happens. And I always love reading some of the descriptions of the things that MVD Visual and Arrow Video of what they go out to restore, because again, there's a market for this. As a film from 1969. It's about an 80-minute film, and so this is something where again some people might be able to look to and to find some fun with. We also have here a DVD. So this is Watching TV with the Red Chinese, which is a film by Shimon Dotan. It says here that this movie, it's a trio of Chinese exchange students, Xu, Hua, and Shen. And it is, apparently they are coming from places like The Walking Dead, Dead to Me, and also one was featured in the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. And they arrive in New York City in 1980, eager to what America has to offer. They make friends with including a literature teacher named Dexter and his girlfriend Suzanne, played by Jillian Jacobs from Community fame. So if you're a big fan of her, looks like it's a fun little movie here. It says here, as they try to adjust to New York City, they become disillusioned with America, eventually buying a firearm for self-defense in this critically acclaimed film based on a novel. So again, that's available on DVD. I think there probably is also a Blu-ray version of it as well. And then from that first set, I do have one more video from Arrow Video, and that's Shoguns Joy of Torture. Again, there's always these more obscure Asian torture type horror films, which are really not my personal cup of tea. But again, I know that there's definitely always there's always a place for this stuff in film history, and I know that there's some people that are drawn to these genres. So it says, from the outrageous imagination of cult director Toru Ishii, who did Orgies of Ito and Horrors of Malformed Men, comes this infamous omnibus of 3 shocking tales of crime and punishment based on true-life documented cases set during the reign of the Tokugawa shogunate. So again, that is something that interests you. It's also available from Arrow Video. Again, shout out to Arrow Video for that. All right, let's go ahead and get to this giant stack of movies in front of me, and it's going to be a mix of both MVD Visual Blu-rays and also, of course, the stuff that we get from Arrow Video. So here, it looks like this is, I think this was done in conjunction with MVD Visual. It looks like this is Full Moon Direct, though, and this is something called Blade the Iron Cross. So Blade the Iron Cross, Charles Band's iconic Puppet Master series, continues in this 12th official entry. So this is actually a part of the Puppet Master series, the 12th of that series, and so that might be something that interests some people. We also have here another part of the MVD Rewind collection, starring a young Drew Barrymore and James LeGros. Says, love made them crazy, guns made them outlaws. This is on Blu-ray. This is called Gun Crazy. So again, they get some of these older films that have never been seen in HD before, and then they do these transfers. So it says here, this is an HD representation of the main feature at a 1.78 by 1 aspect ratio. It says here, it's in the style of Bonnie and Clyde. Gun Crazy tells the story of 2 young lovers running from the law. Also, it marks the directorial debut of Tamra Davis, who apparently was in Crossroads, and Billy Madison. So again, something here I'd never heard of before. So a young Drew Barrymore. And again, this is part of the MVD Rewind collection. We have here a giant box here. This is Taurus Trap. Every year, young people disappear. This is also part of Full Moon Features. So I believe this was also in conjunction with MVD Visual. Yeah, it says right here, MVD Visual Rewind Collection as well. It says, from the producer of Charles Band and director David Schmoller, who's done the things like the classic Puppet Master collection, comes Taurus Trap, widely recognized as not only one of the scariest horror films of the 70s, but of all time. Legendary actor Chuck Connors, who was in The Rifleman and Werewolf, stars as Mr. Schlauschen, a telekinetic psychopath who lures a group of young people to his ramshackle roadside attraction, unleashing an army of physically controlled mannequins and other monstrosities upon them. Well, yeah, that sounds completely terrifying. And based on that image on the front, that doesn't seem like my cup of tea, but I know there's some horror aficionados who watch these videos. So Taurus Trap, now available. And again, this is a really cool, this is a vintage VHS collection. So it comes in this VHS box, which again, as a collector, I'm always just like, ooh, this looks fantastic. And it says here, it includes the remastered uncut Blu-ray, uncut DVD, and also it comes with Mr. Schlauschen figurine. So you actually get a little figurine inside, and since actually I know that now, I'm gonna go ahead and open this stuff. You know, we like to do things live here. You know, I like to do things just kind of on the fly, because if you like these longer videos of just going through random films, hey, these are for you. These are for you. You're the hardcore fans. You're the ones who are like, yeah, I want to see Odin talk about random movies that he's never that he's never seen, but actually sounds somewhat interesting. So let me see. I want to open this without destroying it completely. All right, so you open this bad boy up. Let's see if it just slide out. All right, so here's the actual Blu-ray itself. So again, Taurus Trap, first time on Blu-ray, and then you also get this. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. So it is actually in the box itself. So it's in an actual figurine box. So this is Mr. Schlauschen. And that's actually a pretty cool looking figurine. It's a little action figure that you get from the Full Moon collections right there. And of course, you have your little choking hazard at the very top there. But anyway, this is something that you're into. You can get this VHS collection, and you can get your own Mr. Schlauschen. It has a little mask at the bottom there too, assuming that he is the one that is the killer here. But anyway, that's actually pretty cool. I always like collections where you get extra stuff, right? It's one thing to get the movie, which is always really cool, but then when you can get those extra things like action figures or posters and little booklets, things like that, it's always pretty cool. So anyway, the VHS collection. And I'm sure someone who's a collector just said, I can't believe you just opened the box. Hey, it happens. Next, we have a massive set. Oh, man. Massive, massive set. This is the William Greff or Greffet collection. It says he came from the swamp. So this includes several movies, which include Whiskey Mountain, They Came from the Swamp, The Naked Zoo, Macau, Jaws of Death, Hooked Generation, The Psychedelic Priest, Sting of Death, Death Curse of Tartu. So tons of stuff here, 7 feature films and a feature-length documentary. It says, Killer Sharks and Human Jellyfish and Living Mummies, oh my! Arrow Video is proud to present the first ever collection of the works of William Wild Bill Greffet, the maverick filmmaker who braved the deep, dark depths of the Florida Everglades to deliver some of the most outrageous exploitation fare ever to go-go dance its way across drive-in screens, bringing together 7 of Greffet's most outlandish movies plus a feature-length documentary on the filmmaking career. He Came from the Swamp, the William Greffet collection, packs a menacing menagerie of demented jellyfish men, zombified witch doctors, homicidal hippies, and seductive matrons. So, sounds like a blast for anyone that's a horror aficionado out there. But again, it does come with a documentary and tons of films as well. So again, this is now available from Arrow Video. Again, they're always getting in these high-quality transfers of films that typically wouldn't be getting these kinds of transfers, right? These are things that Criterion wouldn't really be paying attention to. And again, there is a market out there, I know, for people who like these more old school, you know, more like the B-level horror type films. So again, He Came from the Swamp, William Greffet collection, that is currently available as well. Another thing from Arrow Video is a film called Versus. It's a relentless, one-of-a-kind sensory assault, chock full of hyperkinetic fight scenes, gangster shootouts, sword-slashing violence, and gory zombie horror. It was a key title amongst the barrage of innovative horror and action movies that appear as if from nowhere from Japan at the turn of the millennium, leading to a new wave of appreciation of Asian extreme cinema. It says if it's a mysterious face-off in a wooded clearing between 2 escaped convicts and a carload of sharply dressed Yakuza holding a beautiful woman captive, ends in hails of bullets and showers of blood. So again, the movie Versus now available. It's a brand new 2K restoration made available from Arrow Video. We have here another giant box set here. It says Survivor Ballads, 3 films by Shohei Imamura. They also do a lot of transfers of Japanese films, which I think is really cool. And that includes the Ballad of Narayama, Zegan, and Black Rain. So you get 3 films in this set, in this collection from Arrow Video. And also you get a little booklet in there as well. Again, always nice to see. It says, throughout the 1980s, Shohei Imamura, a leading figure of the Japanese New Wave in the 1960s, cemented his international reputation as one of the most important directors of his generation with a series of films that all competed at the Cannes to great critical acclaim, Cannes Film Festival. This exclusive box set from Arrow Academy presents restored versions of 3 late career classics from the legendary director. So again, they always choose very unique movies that have a special place in movie history. And in this case, again, very strong focus on Japanese films as well. All right, we got a ton more movies to talk about here. So let's talk about some MVD Visual. So these are some MVD Visual exclusives. So we got Chuck Berry, the original king of rock and roll. Says, in this highly anticipated feature-length documentary, the absolute instigator of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, is truly revealed with unprecedented access. And so, yeah, you get yourself a documentary here about Chuck Berry from MVD Visual. Also from MVD Visual, you have fantastic double feature Mexican genre classics in English, restored in 4K from the original negatives, which include Batwoman and Panther Women. So Batwoman, Panther Woman, something tells me very different from the ones that we are used to. But anyway, these are, again, a part of the MVD Mexican film collection. Another double film set here, a marquee double feature. It says the films Afterglow with Nick Nolte. And you also have the movie Ray Meets Helen, a film by Alan Rudolph. This stars Keith Carradine. And I'm trying to think, and also Keith David. Love me some Keith David. So anyway, this is also available from MVD Visual. You get 2 films there, Afterglow and Ray Helen. So again, Nick Nolte starring film, and also Keith Carradine as well in those films. Another movie here from the MVD Visual collection as well. Deep in Vogue celebrates the colorful, queer, emotional, and political stories of Northern Vogue and its people. So I know there's probably a market out there for that. The State of Texas versus Melissa, a film by Sabrina Van Tassel. Her name is Melissa Lucio. For over 10 years, she's waited her fate on death row and is now on her last appeal. She was the first Hispanic woman sentenced to death in Texas. So as you all know, I'm a Catholic, so I'm actually very much against the death penalty. So this follows her story there. Another massive box set here. This is also from, actually this, I'm trying to see where this is from. Huh. I don't see the typical Arrow Video label here. So this, I'm not sure which, this is the Mary Millington collection. Doesn't seem like my type of movie. It says here, released to commemorate the 40th anniversary of her death, the special Blu-ray box edition, limited to 3,000 units, so a very limited thing here. Features Mary's most glamorous movie roles, including Come Play With Me, The Playbirds, etc. So again, I don't know, this seems to be a type of genre that is not really my style, but again, Mary Millington has her own collection there. And again, I didn't know if that was Arrow Video or if that was MVD Visual or not. This is a movie that I'm actually very interested to watch. It stars Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Sean William Scott, and Sarah Michelle Gellar from the writer-director of Donnie Darko. So I'm actually very excited to watch this movie by Richard Kelly here, Southland Tales. So again, very young performance here from The Rock before he became mega famous as a movie star. Obviously, I've always known him as a wrestling star myself. It's a new 2K restoration by Arrow Video. 2001, it says that he, of course, the Richard Kelly achieved cult status. But this is Los Angeles 2008, as the city stands on the brink of social, economic, environmental chaos. The fates of an eclectic set of characters, including an amnesia-stricken action star, Dwayne Johnson, an adult film star developing her own reality show, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and a police officer with Sean William Scott, who has has a split personality disorder, intertwined with each other with the whole of humanity. So it actually sounds like a fun movie there. So again, Southland Tales. Another one from Arrow Video is the El Duce tapes. Early 90s aspiring filmmaker Ryan Sexton lugged a giant camcorder into some of the seediest clubs and filthiest apartments in Hollywood. He filmed there. So El Duce. So again, another one of these unique films from Arrow Video. Another film from Arrow Video is the JSA, Joint Security Area, so not the JSA that you're thinking of here. Before the handmaiden visionary filmmaker Park Chan-wook helmed this gripping tale of deceit, misunderstanding, and the senselessness of war. That's actually something that sounds nice to me, because I'm anti-war, but it looks like the guy that did the original Old Boy, some film that I still also need to watch. And then the last one we have is the story of Chris Holmes' Mean Man, story of iconic guitar player who lived a life of extreme highs and lows. So it goes into his life story. And again, this is from MVD Visual, Mean Man. All right, so I think I got tons of movies around me, but I'm pretty sure that's all from that set of films. And again, very, very sorry for this late video here. But again, all those videos coming from MVD Visual and Arrow Video, or some collaboration thereof. And all those videos, all those movies are currently available. Let me know in the comment section below if there's any movies in there that you're interested in that maybe you've heard of before, maybe you want me to go into more detail about. Let me know in the comment section below. It really does mean a lot. You guys are awesome. Please have a wonderful day. Make sure you follow me over on Odyssey and Minds.com as well. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my March Patreon members: Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P., Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, The Honky Chonky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jay, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Carney, Laura, the Modern Major General Story, Mike Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, on to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Priscilla Hall, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benden, Tina Bojan, and of course the Empress of the Universe, Tina B. Thank you all very much for being my Patreon members. And now a shout out to all of my Subscribe Star members: Stan 4, John B, Perpetual Punster, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nebanon G. Adams, and ZK Man. And Dion, thank you all so very much for being my Subscribe Star members, and to everyone who has been supportive of the channel. Of course, a shout out to my YouTube members, and you all know that you get your special perks every single time that we do a live stream, so thank you again for your support. If you want to have your name shouted out at the end of every single live stream and at the end of every single video, please check out the links in the description below to become a Patreon or Subscribe Star member today. You're going to also get access to things at the upper tiers, like a bi-weekly podcast that I do with my friend John the Flick Pick Flickinger. We also, of course, have a Chosen of Valhalla live stream once a month where me and my Chosen come together on this channel to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. So anyway, if all that stuff sounds interesting to you, please check out the links below. You guys are amazing, beautiful people. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.